From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, July the 6th, 2023. An Israeli man was shot and killed by a Palestinian terrorist near the Jewish settlement of Kedumim in Samaria, the West Bank, today. Israeli troops pursued the terrorist who opened fire at them, IDF ultimately neutralizing him. The IDF was searching for other suspects who may have been involved in the attack. An anti-tank missile was launched from Lebanon towards Israel today. The IDF, who initially thought a rocket had been launched, said it exploded adjacent to the Blue Line, Israel's border with Lebanon, in Israeli territory. In response, the IDF, it said, is currently striking the area from which the launch was carried out in Lebanese territory. Again, the incident was first reported as a rocket firing, but the IDF said after examining the remains of the object located near the village of Ajar, it appears that this was the firing of an anti-tank missile. The families of two Israeli soldiers whose remains are being held by terror group Hamas in Gaza and the families of two Israeli citizens being held by Hamas in Gaza are in Geneva today to ask for the help of the United Nations and the Red Cross in the return of their children. Staff Sergeant Oron Shaul and Lieutenant Hadar Golden's remains have been held since 2014 by the terror group. Avira Mengistu and Hisham al-Sayed crossed into Gaza of their own accord in 2014 and 2015, respectively, thought to both suffer from mental health issues. Their family members met today with the UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk and Vice President of the International Committee of the Red Cross, Gilles Carbonnier. They also met with U.S. Permanent Representative to the UN Human Rights Council, Michelle Taylor, who said, "We unequivocally condemn Hamas's actions and stand with Israel in demanding the immediate return of their loved ones." Hadar Golden's mother, Leah, told French news agency AFP, "I'm coming as a mother of a son, and I'm fighting to have to give my son a proper burial. I'm coming here to Geneva, where all the human rights issues are discussed. It is time for action." Israel's foreign ministry said that Liberia will establish an embassy in the country. Foreign Minister Eli Cohen met with Liberian President George Weah and Foreign Minister D. Maxwell Kamaya yesterday in Jerusalem and said, "I welcome Liberia's intention to open an embassy in Israel, which will deepen the ties of friendship between the countries." Cohen said Liberia is one of Israel's greatest friends on the African continent. Weah also met yesterday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, whose office said the two discussed ways to strengthen bilateral ties, especially in innovation, agriculture, and making Israeli knowledge more accessible for the challenges facing Liberia. And that Netanyahu thanked President Weah for Liberia's strong diplomatic support for Israel and expressed the hope that relations would continue to strengthen in the future. 350 Jewish teenagers from around the world are joining 350 Israeli teens in Israel to take part in a seminar aimed at building understanding and connection and empowering them to explore their Jewish identities. The visiting Diller Teen Fellows hail from U.S. cities like Miami, Chicago, New Jersey, and Los Angeles, from Canadian cities like Toronto and Montreal, as well as from Melbourne, Australia, Cape Town and Johannesburg, South Africa, Buenos Aires, Argentina, and cities in the UK, each international community with an Israeli partner community. Executive Director of the Helen Diller Family Foundation Programs, Jen Smith, said, "At a time when our world can feel more divided than ever before, Diller Teen Fellows from across the globe are uniting to build understanding across differences, create connections, and use their leadership actions to help repair the world." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, July the 6th. At 7 o'clock, it's Talmud study. At 7:30, Shahar Azani speaks with Shalom Ashkenazi about his special camp for children with illness. At 8, it's a look at the successes and challenges of the State of Israel as it marks its 75th birthday. At 9, Rabbi Regev is on L'chaim. At 10, it's a look at the vital Israel advocacy training offered to college students. And coming up next, I speak with former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Danny Ayalon, who shares his perspective on the major IDF operation which aimed to dismantle the terror infrastructure in Jenin this week, the refugee camp known as a hotbed for terrorism and a safe haven for terrorists. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, July the 6th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.